you guys, I just thought I'd make a video because I'm in the car on my way home, and to kill the time, I'm just going to do a video. I want to talk to you about my juicing adventure, how I started juicing, and the difference between a centrifugal and a slow masticating or cold press juicer. So my story with juicing, I have been juicing since 2016, well, late 2015, early 2016. I've been juicing. And how I started juicing was I was off work. I was furloughed from my job, and I could stay up late and be on the computer. I know that seems weird, and why she's starting with this story, but anyway, I could stay up late and be on the computer. And so one night I was on the computer, and I had gained weight, and I was feeling bloaty and tired, and my skin was horrible. And I'm like, man, I need to do something. And so I was on YouTube, and I came across this video by Joe Cross, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And what the video is about is his adventure, well, not adventure, but his story of how he started juicing. He had a bunch of ailments that, he wanted to find solutions to, how to solve, get rid of and deal with some of those ailments. And so he started juicing, and he video chronicled the whole journey of him, how he started juicing, and, the effects of it, how some of his ailments went away, and just, it was a positive thing for him. And so he started with a Breville juicer, and, I think he did like a 60-day juice fast. Anyway, all his ailments were reversed. And so I'm like, hey, I want to try that. And so, yeah, I said to myself, I'm going to try that, but I don't have a juicer. And I'm like, man, I priced the juicer that he had in the movie, and it was a Breville. And at the time, I just couldn't afford it. And so I'm like, okay, how do I do this without a juicer? And so I researched ways on how to juice without a juicer. And so basically, I ended up using a blender. And so I had a blender. I blended all my produce. I had a blender. You use a blender. You use cheesecloth. You use a fine strainer. And so what I did is I blended my produce and my fruit and produce in the blender. I poured it over the top of the cheesecloth. Now I had the cheesecloth draped over the little fine strainer. And so I poured it into the strainer, and then I squeezed the juice out into, a container. And so that's how I started juicing. And I did this for about 6 months until I was able to save up for a juicer. And I did indeed get the same juicer he was using in the movie, which was a Breville. And I'll put the information in the information box below. It was a Breville, and I've done a demonstration on those, and I'm gonna do a video. I have a video of me juicing with it, so I'll include that as well. And so I got my Breville, and then I used that for several years, and then at the conclusion of that, I was able to save up for my next juicer, which was an Omega. It was an Omega. And so I used the Omega for some time, and I used the Omega up until 2019. Yes, I used the Omega up until, actually, I got the Omega. I went from Breville to Omega in 2019, excuse me. And so then I used that, and now I have a Nama J2, which is a cold press juicer. Now the Omega, let me back up. The Omega is a cold press juicer. And so, like I said, I used that for a while. And now I have a Nama J2, which is another cold press juicer, which you've seen me use. So that's basically how I got my start into juicing. And so the difference, a question that I get all the time is, what is the difference between a cold press juicer and a centrifugal juicer? And so the difference is that a centrifugal juicer basically it spins really fast. It spins really fast, and it basically chops up your fruit and produce. And that process creates a little bit of a heat that comes in contact with your produce, your fruits and vegetables, which reduces some of the food value. Now, what is food value? So when I say food value, I mean the maximum nutritional benefit you can get from your fruits and vegetables. So when I say food value, that's what that means. So when you do juicing in a centrifugal juicer like the Breville, the heat of the spinning and the chopping reduces some of your food value, and some people don't prefer that, but you got to start somewhere. The same with a blender. You got to start somewhere. That reduces the food value. So it spins to help you get the juices from the fruit and vegetables, and your juice oxidizes faster, so it doesn't last as long, and the color is different. So you pretty much have to consume your juice quickly with the centrifugal juicing. Now, with a cold press juicer, you have the grinding and the pressing. It presses your fruits and vegetables at a slower pace. You'll see the spinning of the auger. It has an auger. It has an auger that presses the fruits and vegetables. So the juice is smoother, and you retain more of the food value. So and it's quieter.
What is the difference between the Breville on the left and the Omega on the right, the red one? Well, Bertha, I call my Breville, and red, or Pearl, Pearl, I call my Omega. I'll tell you what the difference is. So with the Breville, you have this, it spins really fast. Spin, spin, spin. And a lot of people don't prefer that because they say it kills off the nutrients really quickly. It does kill off some of the nutrients, but it's better than nothing. It's what I started with when I first started juicing. So I still stick with this because some people don't have time like that, because juicing is a lot of work. You have to get the produce, you have to clean it, you have to make sure you clean it. So this is good in the pinch, and like I said, this is what I started with when I first started juicing. And I still will continue to use this because it's a good product. It does not have to be Breville. There are others out there that are good products and will give you the same results. Same with this. There are cold press juicers out there that are not Omegas that will give you the same results. So it's quick in a pinch. You can put a whole apple in the chute here. That's a big chute. Whereas in this guy, you'd have to cut it up into pieces. Now, this has a little auger that presses and grinds, and it does it really slowly, so you retain more of the nutrients of your fruits and vegetables. So that is the difference between a cold press juicer. This little guy is called an auger, and it goes into my Omega, which is my low speed cold press juicer. And the centrifugal spins really fast juicer, the Breville. And I don't know if that got cut off, but anyway, essentially, Pearl, slow. She has auger, slow press. You keep more of the nutrients. And Bertha spins really fast. You can put fruits and vegetables in there whole without having to do a lot of prep work. Anyway, I'm going to start my juicing now, and then I'll come back and show you my results. So I'm going to make this beautiful pineapple, grapefruit, ginger juice. As I said before, I'm going to make the celery juice, and I'm going to make some carrot juice. I can't wait. And I also picked up 2 melons that I might just juice the one because I want to eat this one. So hey, I'm about to make some celery juice and some carrot juice. I have 5 things of celery. You think that'll get me through the week? Let's talk about it. Get it? Let's talk about it. People want to know, can you juice it with the leaves on it? Yes, you can. I think it's a matter of preference. Some people say that it makes the juice bitter. Some people are indifferent. They don't really taste the difference. But me, I choose to cut the leaves off. If you're not buying organic and you're looking for a way to clean your produce, bam, there it is. Distilled white vinegar, 2 cups. You can also put some lemon in there and a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. It does the trick. Made some green juice. In that green juice, 2 cucumbers, 2 stalks of celery, and a lemon, some ginger, some kale, and some spinach. And I have some green juice. I want to show you, it's a little bit loud. And you put the whole stalk down in there. The whole stalk. As opposed to this guy, you have to cut this up. You have to cut that stalk up into little, like I'd say inch and a half pieces, because the auger can only do so much. The little slow auger. So you have to cut it up into pieces. That's the difference between this one and this one as far as juicing like certain types of things. Just juice some celery juice and see, you have that little bit of a foam top right there. Just a little bit. A little bit pulpy, but not bad. You know what's crazy though, guys, is I had 4 packages of celery and I only got 4 of these mason jars full of celery juice. So I almost would have to have when I was diehard juicing, I would get like a case of celery so I could, have it last for the week into the next week. So, I'm back. I put Bertha away. She did her job. I did my green juice, my celery juice. And yeah, my green juice and my celery juice with Bertha. Okay, now I'm going to fire up my Pearl. She's slow. See? Slow. Now I want to show you, so I cut up these carrots. See, I had to cut them up because I'm going to put them in Pearl. I also had to cut up my apples because I'm going to make apple, carrot, ginger juice. See, Pearl is slow. The pulp comes out of there. Get some carrots here, and I'm going to put the carrots in here. You can hear it grinding. juice is out there. See, the juice is much smoother. The juice is much smoother, not as much pulp. Can you see that? Just finished my carrot juice. That's a wrap for today. I'll try and chime back in during my next juicing session. And I never did get around to juicing these guys, so yeah. But that's okay. I will enjoy eating them.